My name is Emily Gerber, and this is my story. I was one of 7 kids. I was raised in Strawn, not too far from here. I have 5 sisters. I had one brother who died in a tragic farming accident when he was 2.5. My dad did not cut us any slack. We were raised like boys more than girls. Um, we went to the Apostolic Church growing up. I became a Christian at the age of 12. So when I started with the Apostolic Church calls like a repentance process. It's really hard for me. So I would say a lot of my high school years, I just did things out of obligation, like a check mark box. And I wasn't even good at that. I was kind of like, I think that's dumb, or I was a little bit rebellious. So I didn't always follow the rules very well. But most of things were done from a fear-based motivation and not really a love relationship with God. It was, I need to do this in order to be a good Christian kind of thing. I can still remember I was walking a country road in Strawn, and I had read a book, it was called Captivating, where it was like, God really, he loves you. He thinks you're beautiful. He thinks you're incredible. He wants to have a relationship with you. And something about all of those, my friendship group, having conversations, everything just changed. I remember I was single for a really long time. A lot of my sisters and close friends would be able to tell you that was really hard. I really always felt like there was this just piece that was missing. And I kind of felt like this was a lot of suffering for me. It's hard to say that because everybody has different ways that they suffer or things that they long for that don't happen. I really wanted to be in a relationship, and after I started attending pretty consistently at Eastview, Aaron messaged me one night and asked if he could take me out, and I was really I was really shocked. I was like, I remembered it. So Aaron and I grew up together. We went to the same church. His mom actually remembers a prenatal appointment with my mom together. So we were 2 months apart, something like that. And so we grew up together, but we just didn't hang out in the same circles hardly ever. And he's so quiet and I'm not. And we just didn't, I remember him being present in memories, but I just don't really remember having conversations with him. I was nervous, but we went on our first date and it was awkward, like most first dates are, but it was really fun. Yeah, and then we went on a second date and I told him I thought it was probably just too soon. I literally cannot ever remember, other than wanting to be a counselor, ever wanting to be anything but a mom. And then the fall before Aaron and I started talking, there had just been some weird things going on with my body, actually for quite a while, and I wasn't sure what was going on. So I finally just was like, well, I might as well do some of the testing to figure out what in the world's going on. And I got news that I was in premature ovarian failure, and it was absolutely devastating. There was nothing I would want to hear less than that. And so even when Aaron and I started talking and it got a little bit more serious, honestly, one of my sweetest memories is I told him finally, one night I told him I'd probably not be able to have children. That's what the doctors were telling me. I got a couple opinions. And he was like, well, that will be okay. That'll be, and I was like, no, you need to think about it for a little bit before just telling me it's okay. Because for me, it would have probably been a deal breaker. And it was the next day or two that he came back and he was like, no, I would rather have you than have our biological children. Finally, in January of 2021, we were able to transfer 2 embryos. And those embryos failed, and it was absolutely devastating. I feel like I love those babies so much. And those 2 embryos at the time felt like our only possibility. But as God does, he kept working in miraculous ways, and we were able to do another transfer. I went to the hospital in Bloomington, had my blood drawn, and they they called me back and told me I was pregnant, and I was in shock, but because my body already felt so different, I was like, I'm not like terribly surprised. It was really fun to tell Aaron. But we just like cried and we're so excited, and yeah, couldn't believe it almost. It finally felt like something really amazing had happened instead of always bad news.